Emily Harper stood frozen at the gala, her heart pounding as her boss praised Sophia for the event she poured her soul into. The crowd cheered, oblivious to the truth. Only Emily knew the lies Sophia had spun, stealing her work and her family's trust. Tonight, she'd face a choice: stay silent or risk everything to expose the deception. Emily Harper adjusted her earrings, her reflection in the mirror betraying the nerves she tried to hide. At 28, she'd built a reputation as a meticulous event planner in Seattle, her sharp mind and tireless work ethic earning her a coveted role at Pinnacle Events. Tonight's gala at the Fairmont Olympic Hotel was her masterpiece, a fundraiser for a local children's hospital, with every detail, from the cascading floral arches to the curated jazz playlist, crafted by her hands. But as she smoothed her navy dress, a knot tightened in her stomach. Something felt off, though she couldn't place it. The ballroom buzzed with Seattle's elite, their laughter mingling with the clink of champagne glasses. Emily's mother, Laura, stood near the stage, radiant in a silver gown, her new husband, David, at her side. Laura had remarried a year ago, blending their family with David's daughter, Sophia, a 24-year-old influencer with a dazzling smile and a knack for stealing the spotlight. Emily and Laura had once been inseparable, late-night baking sessions, shared dreams of travel, but Sophia's arrival had shifted things. Laura doted on her stepdaughter, leaving Emily feeling like an afterthought. As the gala reached its peak, Emily's boss, Rachel, took the stage. "Ladies and gentlemen," Rachel began, her voice commanding the room, "this evening's success is thanks to one extraordinary woman." Emily's heart lifted, a rare moment of pride swelling in her chest. She worked sleepless nights, negotiated with vendors, and even dipped into her savings to cover a last-minute lighting issue. This was her moment. But then Rachel's words sliced through her. "Sophia Bennett, your vision brought this night to life. Take a bow." The crowd erupted in applause as Sophia, poised in a crimson gown, stepped forward, her smile radiant. Emily froze, her breath catching. Sophia? Sophia hadn't touched the gala. She'd barely answered Emily's texts about the guest list. Yet there she was, basking in the praise, her eyes flickering toward Emily with a glint of triumph. Emily's pulse raced, her hands clenching at her sides. She scanned the room, spotting Laura beaming at Sophia, oblivious to the truth. David, however, caught Emily's gaze, his brow furrowing as if sensing her distress. The injustice burned, months of her sweat and sacrifice, erased in a single speech. But how? Why would Rachel credit Sophia? As the applause faded, Emily slipped into the hallway, her mind reeling. She replayed the past weeks, searching for clues. Sophia had been at the office more often, lingering near Rachel's desk, her laughter echoing through the open-plan space. Emily had dismissed it as Sophia's usual charm offensive, but now it felt sinister. Had Sophia lied to Rachel? And if so, how had she convinced Laura, too? A memory surfaced, 2 weeks ago, at Laura's house. Emily had been finalizing the gala's seating chart when she overheard Sophia on the phone. "Oh, the gala's basically mine," Sophia had said, her voice syrupy. "I've been running the show." Emily had assumed it was harmless bragging, but now the pieces clicked. Sophia wasn't just taking credit, she was orchestrating a theft. Back in the ballroom, Emily forced a smile, her professionalism a fragile mask. She approached Rachel, her voice steady despite the storm inside. "Rachel, can we talk about the credit for the gala?" Rachel's smile faltered. "Emily, Sophia showed me the plans, the vendor lists. She said you were assisting her." Emily's stomach dropped. "Assisting?" "Rachel, I designed every element." "Sophia didn't," Rachel cut her off, her tone sharp. "This isn't the time, Emily. We'll discuss it Monday." Humiliation stung as Emily retreated, her mind racing. Sophia's deception wasn't just personal, it threatened her career. Pinnacle Events was her lifeline, her chance to prove herself in a cutthroat industry. If Sophia's lies stuck, Emily could lose everything. But confronting Sophia now, in front of Laura and the guests, risked a scene that could tarnish her reputation further. As the night wore on, Emily watched Sophia glide through the crowd, her charm effortless. A new twist hit when Emily overheard a guest congratulate Laura on Sophia's incredible work. Laura's response was a knife to the heart. "I'm so proud of her. She's outdone Emily at her own game." Emily's vision blurred with unshed tears. Her own mother believed the lie. Determined to uncover the truth, Emily slipped into the hotel's office, where she'd stored her planning files. She rifled through her laptop, pulling up emails, contracts, and receipts, all stamped with her name. The evidence was ironclad, but would it be enough? Sophia's influence over Laura and Rachel was a web of charisma and manipulation. Emily needed a plan, one that exposed Sophia without destroying the family or her career. As she left the office, David approached, his expression gentle. "Emily, you okay? You looked upset earlier." His concern was a lifeline in the chaos. "David, I need to tell you something," she began, her voice trembling. "Sophia didn't plan the gala." "I did." David's eyes widened, but before he could respond, Sophia's laughter rang out nearby, pulling Emily back to the present. The fight for justice was just beginning, and the stakes were higher than she'd ever imagined. Emily Harper sat at her desk in Pinnacle Events' sleek Seattle office, the Monday morning rain streaking the windows. Her laptop glowed with evidence, emails, invoices, and timelines proving she'd orchestrated the gala. But the weight of Sophia's deception pressed harder than ever. The gala's success should have been her triumph, a stepping stone to a promotion. Instead, Sophia's lies had cast her as a mere assistant, threatening her career and her bond with her mother, Laura. Emily's confrontation with Rachel loomed. She'd spent the weekend compiling a dossier, every contract, every late-night email, all stamped with her name. But doubt gnawed at her. Sophia's charm had swayed Rachel and Laura. Could evidence alone break that spell? And what was Sophia's endgame? Stealing credit for one event seemed petty, even for her. As Emily rehearsed her pitch, her colleague, Marcus, leaned over the cubicle wall. "Heard you got overshadowed at the gala," he said, his tone sympathetic but curious. "Sophia's claiming she's gunning for your job." Emily's heart sank. Her job? Sophia wasn't even employed at Pinnacle. Marcus hesitated, then added, "She's been cozying up to Rachel, dropping hints about taking over event planning. Watch your back." The revelation hit like a cold wave. Sophia's ambition wasn't just about ego, it was calculated. Emily's role at Pinnacle was her lifeline, funding her modest Capitol Hill apartment and her dreams of starting her own firm. Losing it would unravel everything. But why target her so viciously? The answer lay in a memory from months ago, when Sophia had pitched a half-baked event idea to Rachel, only for Emily to tactfully point out its flaws. Sophia's smile had tightened, her eyes cold. Had that sparked this vendetta? Emily's phone buzzed. "Laura." "Sweetie, can we talk?" Her mother's voice was warm but hesitant. "Sophia told me how hard she worked on the gala. I wish you'd been more involved." Emily's grip tightened. "Mom, I planned everything." Sophia lied. Laura sighed. "Emily, don't be jealous. Sophia said you were too busy to lead, so she stepped up." The word stung, Laura's blind trust in Sophia a fresh wound. "Mom, I have proof," Emily pressed, but Laura cut her off. "Let's not fight. Come to dinner tonight. We'll sort it out." Frustration churned as Emily hung up. Laura's dismissal echoed the gala's humiliation, but dinner offered a chance to confront Sophia in front of Laura and David. She needed to stay calm, lawful, and strategic. Any outburst could paint her as the villain. She emailed David a summary of her evidence, hoping his quiet fairness would make him an ally. His reply was brief: "I'll listen, Emily. Bring your proof." At Pinnacle, Emily met Rachel in her glass-walled office. "Rachel, I need to clarify something," she began, sliding her dossier across the desk. "I planned the gala, not Sophia." Rachel's brow furrowed as she skimmed the documents. "This is Concerning, she admitted. Sophia provided detailed plans, said they were hers. Emily's pulse quickened. Those were my plans. Check the metadata, my name's on every file. Rachel's expression hardened. If this is true, it's serious. But Sophia's meeting with our biggest client tomorrow, pitching as lead planner. I can't pull her without proof she lied intentionally. Emily's stomach twisted. Sophia was pitching to Pinnacle's top client? If she succeeded, she could cement her false narrative, maybe even push Emily out. Give me until tomorrow, Emily said, her voice steady despite her panic. I'll prove it. Rachel nodded, but her skepticism lingered, a reminder of how deeply Sophia's lies had taken root. That evening, Emily arrived at Laura's cozy West Seattle home, her dossier tucked in her bag. The dining room glowed with candlelight, but tension hung thick. Sophia sat across from her, her smile saccharine, while David watched quietly. Laura served roast chicken, oblivious to the storm brewing. Sophia's been telling me about her big pitch, Laura gushed. She's a natural, isn't she, Emily? Emily forced a nod, her jaw tight. Sophia's eyes gleamed with amusement, as if daring her to act. Mid-dinner, Emily seized her moment. Mom, David, there's something you need to know, she said, pulling out her laptop. She displayed emails and contracts, her voice calm but firm. I planned the gala. Sophia took credit for my work. Laura's fork paused, her face clouding. Sophia laughed lightly. Emily, I never said I did it alone. You helped, and I appreciated it. The lie was brazen, and Emily's temper flared, but she stayed composed. Helped? Sophia, you didn't touch it. I planned everything. Here's the proof. David leaned forward, scanning the screen, his expression darkening. Laura looked torn, glancing at Sophia. Sophia's facade cracked. This is ridiculous, she snapped. Emily's just jealous. But David held up a hand. Let's hear her out. As Emily laid out her evidence, a new twist emerged. Sophia had emailed Rachel Emily's plans, claiming them as her own. David's voice was low but firm. Sophia, is this true? Sophia's smile faltered, her eyes darting to Laura, who sat frozen. Before Sophia could respond, Emily's phone pinged, a message from Marcus. Check Sophia's laptop. She saved your files in her cloud. Emily's heart raced. If she could access Sophia's laptop, she'd have undeniable proof of theft. But how? Breaking in was illegal, and she'd vowed to stay lawful. She needed Sophia to slip up, to reveal her lies in front of witnesses. As dinner ended, Emily caught David's eye, silently pleading for support. He nodded slightly, a quiet promise to help. Back home, Emily stared at her dossier, her resolve hardening. Sophia's pitch was tomorrow. If Emily could expose her before then, she might save her job and her family's trust. But the clock was ticking, and Sophia's next move was anyone's guess. The fight for justice was far from over, and Emily was ready to play her final card. Emily Harper paced her Capitol Hill apartment, the Seattle skyline a blur through her window. The clock read 6 a.m., and Sophia's pitch to Pinnacle Events' biggest client was hours away. If Sophia succeeded, her lies about planning the gala would solidify, potentially costing Emily her job and her reputation. The dossier of evidence, emails, contracts, receipts, sat on her coffee table, but it wasn't enough without proof of Sophia's deliberate theft. Marcus's tip about Sophia's laptop burned in her mind. Accessing it could expose Sophia's deception, but Emily refused to break the law. She needed a lawful way to unravel Sophia's web. Her phone buzzed, a text from David, her stepfather. Meet me at the cafe on Pine Street. 7 a.m. I have something for you. Emily's pulse quickened. David's quiet support at dinner had been a lifeline, but she hadn't expected him to act so fast. She grabbed her dossier and headed out, the morning mist clinging to her coat as she navigated Seattle's bustling streets. At the cafe, David sat in a corner booth, his face etched with concern. A manila envelope lay on the table. "Emily," he said softly, sliding it toward her, "I couldn't sleep after dinner. Sophia's my daughter, but what she's done is wrong." Emily opened the envelope, her breath catching. Inside were screenshots from Sophia's cloud account, Emily's gala plans, renamed with Sophia's initials, and an email where Sophia admitted to Rachel she borrowed Emily's work to look good. David's voice was heavy. "I accessed her account last night. She uses my old laptop sometimes, and I still have the login." Emily's hands trembled. This was the smoking gun she needed, but a moral pang hit her. David had crossed a line, even if for the right reasons. "David, thank you, but this could get you in trouble," she said. He shook his head. "I'll deal with the consequences. You don't deserve to lose everything because of her lies." His sincerity steadied her. She'd used the evidence lawfully, presenting it to Rachel and the client without revealing how David obtained it. As Emily left the cafe, a new twist blindsided her. Her phone pinged with an email from Rachel. "Sophia's pitch is moved to 10 a.m. She's claiming you sabotaged her by withholding gala files. Be at the office by 9. Emily's stomach lurched. Sabotage? Sophia was flipping the narrative, painting Emily as the villain. If Rachel believed it, Emily could be fired before she even presented her evidence. The psychological pressure mounted. Sophia's manipulation was a masterclass in gaslighting, making Emily question her own reality. At Pinnacle, the office hummed with tension. Emily arrived early, her dossier and David's screenshots tucked into her bag. Marcus pulled her aside, his voice low. "Sophia's been spreading rumors you're jealous and unprofessional. Some colleagues are buying it." Emily's chest tightened. Sophia wasn't just stealing credit, she was dismantling Emily's credibility. But Marcus's next words offered hope. "I saw Sophia upload your files to her cloud months ago. I'll back you up if you need a witness." Gratitude flooded Emily, but time was slipping. She needed to confront Sophia before the pitch, in front of Rachel and the client, to expose her lies without derailing the meeting. As 10 a.m. neared, Emily entered the conference room, where Sophia stood confidently, chatting with the client, Mr. Larson, a stern man in a tailored suit. Rachel's expression was unreadable, her trust in Emily clearly shaken. Sophia's eyes flicked to Emily, a smirk playing on her lips, as if she'd already won. Emily took a deep breath, her voice steady. "Before we start, I need to address something." She turned to Rachel. "Sophia's claiming I sabotage her, but the truth is, she's been presenting my work as her own." Gasps rippled through the room. Sophia's smile faltered. "That's absurd," she snapped. "Emily's just bitter." But Emily was ready. She laid out her dossier, projecting emails and contracts onto the screen. "These are my plans, my signatures." Sophia sent them to Rachel, claiming they were hers. Mr. Larson's brow furrowed as he scanned the evidence. Rachel's face paled. Sophia's voice rose, shrill. "This is a setup. Emily's trying to ruin me." But Emily held up the screenshots from David, careful not to mention his role. "Sophia admitted in this email she took my work to look good. She's been lying to everyone." The room fell silent, the weight of truth settling in. Sophia's cheeks flushed, her confidence crumbling. Rachel's voice was icy. "Sophia, explain this." Sophia stammered, her excuses unraveling. I just wanted to help. It wasn't a big deal." Mr. Larson stood, his tone clipped. "Integrity is a big deal, Ms. Bennett. I'll need to reconsider our partnership." He turned to Emily. "Ms. Harper, your work speaks for itself. Let's discuss a lead role for you after this." Emily's heart soared, but the victory was bittersweet. Sophia's lies had fractured her family, and Laura's absence from the meeting stung. As Sophia stormed out, Emily caught Rachel's nod of respect, a sign her job was secure. But the real battle awaited, convincing Laura, who still believed Sophia's narrative. Marcus whispered, "You've got this, Em. Laura will come around." Emily hoped he was right, but Sophia's next move loomed like a shadow. Back at her apartment, Emily's phone rang. "Laura," her voice trembling. "Emily, Sophia's devastated. She says you humiliated her at work." "What's going on?" Emily's resolve hardened. The truth had to reach her mother, but it would take more than evidence. She needed Laura to see Sophia's true character. With David and Marcus as allies, Emily prepared for the final confrontation, knowing the stakes were higher than ever. Emily Harper stood in her mother's West Seattle living room, the scent of fresh coffee mingling with the tension in the air. Laura's call after Sophia's failed pitch had been a mix of confusion and defensiveness, prompting this urgent family meeting. Emily's dossier and David's screenshots lay on the oak dining table, a silent testament to her fight for justice. Sophia sat across from her, arms crossed, her usual poise replaced by a sullen glare. David's steady presence anchored Emily, but Laura's furrowed brow signaled her struggle to reconcile the truth with her loyalty to Sophia. "Emily, you've upset Sophia terribly," Laura began, her voice wavering. "She says you embarrassed her at work. I want to understand." Emily's heart ached. Laura's doubt was a fresh wound, but she kept her tone calm. "Mom, I exposed the truth. Sophia took credit for my gala, lied to Rachel, and tried to sabotage my career. I have proof." She slid the dossier forward, her eyes locking with Laura's. "Please, just look." Laura hesitated, glancing at Sophia, who scoffed. "This is a witch hunt," Sophia said, her voice sharp. "Emily's twisting everything to make me look bad." But David leaned forward, his tone firm. "Sophia, I saw the evidence. You sent Emily's plans to Rachel, claiming they were yours. Why?" Sophia's eyes widened, a flicker of panic betraying her. "Dad, I just wanted to impress her." Emily seized the moment, projecting the screenshots onto her laptop. "Here's Sophia admitting she borrowed my work to look good. She didn't just take credit, she planned to take my job." Laura's face paled as she scanned the email. The room grew heavy with silence, broken only by Sophia's shaky protest. "It wasn't like that. Emily's blowing it out of proportion." A sudden twist shifted the dynamic. Laura's phone buzzed, and she glanced at it, her expression darkening. "Sophia, why is Rachel texting me?" she asked, her voice low. Emily's pulse quickened. Rachel hadn't mentioned contacting Laura. Laura read aloud, her tone sharp. "Laura, I'm sorry to involve you, but Sophia's actions at Pinnacle were unethical. Emily's evidence is undeniable. We're reviewing her contract." Sophia's facade cracked, her voice rising. "This is unfair. Emily set me up." But Laura's eyes narrowed, a mother's intuition cutting through the lies. "Sophia, did you lie to me about the gala?" Sophia's lips parted, but no words came. The weight of Laura's gaze was unrelenting, and Emily saw a shift. Her mother was starting to see the truth. Emily pressed forward, her voice steady but laced with emotion. "Mom, I poured my heart into that gala for the kids' hospital, for my career, for you. Sophia knew how much it meant and stole it anyway. I tried to tell you, but you believed her." Laura's eyes glistened, guilt flickering across her face. "Emily, I didn't know. I thought Sophia was helping you." David spoke, his voice gentle but firm. "Laura, Sophia's been manipulating us all. I found her plans to pitch Emily's ideas as her own for months. It wasn't a mistake, it was deliberate." Sophia's head snapped toward him, betrayal in her eyes. "Dad, how could you?" David sighed. "Because it's right, Sophia. You hurt Emily, and you hurt this family." The confrontation took a surprising turn when Laura stood, her hands trembling. "Sophia, I trusted you. I bragged about you to everyone, thinking you'd made that gala magical. But it was Emily all along." She turned to Emily, tears spilling. "I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I should have listened. Emily's throat tightened, the apology a balm to her wounded heart, but the rift with Sophia loomed. Sophia's desperation boiled over. Fine, I lied. But Emily's not perfect either, she's always been the favorite, the responsible one. I just wanted a chance to shine. Her confession hung in the air, raw and revealing. Emily saw the root of Sophia's actions, not just ambition, but a deep-seated insecurity, a need to eclipse her. It humanized Sophia, but didn't excuse her. Emily faced a moral crossroads. She could push for Sophia's complete downfall, Rachel's email hinted at firing her, or she could show mercy, preserving a chance for family healing. Sophia, Emily said, her voice firm but not cruel, you had a chance to shine, but you chose to steal mine. The truth's out now. What you do next is up to you. Sophia's shoulders slumped, her defiance fading. Laura reached for Emily's hand, her voice soft. How can I make this right? Emily exhaled, the weight of her fight easing. Just be my mom again. Believe in me. Laura nodded, tears streaming. David placed a hand on Emily's shoulder, a silent vow of support. Sophia sat silent, the consequences of her lies settling in. As Emily left, her phone buzzed, a message from Marcus. Rachel's offering you the lead planner role. Client loved your honesty. Emily's heart lifted. Her career was secure, and Laura's trust was returning. But Sophia's next move was uncertain. Would she accept defeat, or lash out? Emily braced for the final chapter, knowing her lawful fight had shifted the tide, but the family's healing was just beginning. Emily Harper stood outside Pinnacle Events' Seattle office, the spring rain a soft patter on her umbrella. A week had passed since the tense family meeting at Laura's house, where Sophia's lies about the gala were laid bare. The truth had shifted everything. Emily's career was on the rise, her bond with her mother was healing, but the fallout with Sophia lingered like an unresolved chord. Today, a final reckoning awaited, one that would cement Emily's victory and close this chapter of betrayal. Inside, Rachel greeted her with a rare smile. Emily, the client signed a year-long contract, thanks to your gala and your honesty. She handed Emily a contract of her own, lead planner, with a raise. You've earned this. Emily's chest swelled with pride, the culmination of months of sacrifice. But Rachel's next words carried weight. Sophia's contract is terminated. She admitted to passing off your work. She's out, effective immediately. Emily nodded, a mix of relief and pity stirring within. Sophia's ambition had been her undoing, but Emily felt no joy in her downfall. Back at her Capitol Hill apartment, Emily reflected on the journey. Sophia's deception had nearly cost her everything, her job, her family's trust, her sense of self. But by staying lawful, gathering evidence, and leaning on allies like David and Marcus, she'd turned the tide. The psychological toll had been heavy, nights of doubt, the sting of Laura's disbelief, but it had forged a stronger Emily, one who valued her worth beyond others' validation. A new twist emerged when Laura called, her voice tentative. Emily, Sophia's moving to Portland. She wants to talk before she goes. Emily's stomach nodded. A face-to-face with Sophia risked reopening wounds, but it also offered closure. She agreed to meet at a quiet cafe on Pike Street, her dossier left behind. She didn't need it anymore. The truth was her shield now. At the cafe, Sophia sat alone, her usual glamour dimmed. Her eyes were red-rimmed, her posture defeated. Emily, she began, her voice soft, I'm sorry. I was jealous of your talent, your bond with Laura. I thought if I outshined you, I'd finally matter. Emily listened, her heart torn between anger and empathy. Sophia's confession revealed a fractured young woman, driven by insecurity to hurt others. Why didn't you just talk to me? Emily asked. Sophia shrugged, tears falling. I didn't think I could compete. Emily faced a final moral choice. She could walk away, letting Sophia's consequences, losing her job, her reputation, and her family's trust, stand as justice. Or she could offer a sliver of grace, not for Sophia's sake, but for her own peace. "Sophia," she said, her voice steady, "you made bad choices, and you're paying for them. But you can start over in Portland. Be honest this time." Sophia nodded, her expression a mix of shame and gratitude. "I'll try," she whispered. As Emily left, a weight lifted. Sophia's departure wasn't a victory lap, but a quiet resolution. The cafe's warmth faded into the cool Seattle air, and Emily felt free, not just from Sophia's lies, but from the need to prove herself. She fought lawfully, with evidence and integrity, and won more than justice. She reclaimed her voice. Later, at Laura's house, Emily and her mother sat on the porch, the Puget Sound glinting in the distance. Laura's eyes were glossy with regret. "I failed you, Emily. I believed Sophia over my own daughter." Emily squeezed her hand. "We're rebuilding, Mom. That's what matters." Laura smiled, a tentative hope in her gaze. David joined them, his quiet strength a reminder of his role in exposing Sophia. "You did good, Emily," he said. "You showed us all what truth looks like." The consequences for Sophia rippled outward. Her social circle in Seattle shrank, her influencer status tarnished by whispers of her deceit. Pinnacle's clients spread word of Emily's integrity, boosting her reputation in the industry. Marcus, ever loyal, texted, "You're a legend, Em. Drinks on me?" Emily laughed, grateful for friends who'd stood by her. As weeks passed, Emily channeled her energy into new projects, her lead planner role a canvas for her creativity. She set boundaries with Laura, ensuring their bond grew on mutual respect, not sacrifice. Sophia's name faded from family conversations, her move to Portland a fresh start she'd have to navigate alone. Emily felt a pang of sympathy. Sophia's insecurity had driven her to ruin, but it was fleeting. The truth had set Emily free, and she wasn't looking back. One evening, Emily stood at a Pinnacle gala, her latest triumph. The room glowed with her vision, and Rachel raised a glass to her, the crowd's applause genuine. Laura was there, her pride radiant, and David clapped with quiet approval. Emily smiled, not for the spotlight, but for the journey. She faced injustice, fought with honor, and emerged whole. The moral victory was hers, and the future was bright with possibility.